in this video, we will be making a tail. I promise my future videos I will have full tutorials. But again, I paid for this pattern and I really don't want to upset the original maker. So we're going to do a Cheshire cat tail. The whole point of this video though is to show you how you do a color change. There is a lot involved, so this will probably be a pretty long video. I did start the piece here so that it's easier for you to see when I switch the colors, but we're still going to start off with row 1 anyways on a new piece of yarn. With the magic circle. So my left-handers, your yarn is on the right, your tail here, you make a D like that, you flip it over like a book, and you'll pull it and pull the tail at the same time. When you put your hook in, you leave the tail and you pull the main piece of yarn, and if it shrinks, you're good. If it doesn't, and you had to pull the tail, you did it backwards. So now when I first start off, I like the diameter to be the same as the hook. The hook up here is a 4mm hook. So yeah, there are different sizes. So you just want it to be the same there so that your piece looks uniform when you're finished. So to start off, you do back to front and pull. And you'll see the one piece of yarn there. That there is going to indicate the hole for the magic ring. Goes around, it's okay. Now, when you're starting off, try to not crochet this into your piece. I've done that so many times. So you just gotta watch what you're grabbing. Now the first stitch is always different. You're gonna do the same thing you just did. That is actually called a slip stitch. Pull through. Now I push them back every time to make, like I said, that diameter the same. For the first stitch, you're going to do the slip and then go through where the green marker is. Velvet yarn. Okay. It's not the easiest to work with. Alright, slightly pull. And then you're going to do your first regular crochet. So back to front, you pull over that piece, and your first stitch is complete. There we go. First V. Okay, so we're gonna mark that with a stitch marker. Red. I use red, orange, pink. That's the connotations behind those colors are pretty much the same. Stop, warning. Because sometimes I end up using 2 or 3 stitch markers as well, and I just don't want to confuse myself. I want to remember that this is the one that indicates the new row. Alright, so now the rest of the stitches will be regular. You just go through with the green stitch marker. So that's stitch 2 complete. Stitch 3. Complete. And you see velvet, come on, 1 with the stitch marker, and goodness gracious, 2 has snuck over to the side, and 3 right there. I always find myself moving around the yarn when I'm using velvet. All right, 4, 5, and 6. Oh my gosh, if my husband doesn't be quiet. He's watching football. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have finished the magic circle. Okay, so I'll do the next round and then we're gonna go ahead and switch to the piece I already started so I can show you what a color change looks like. So we can get rid of the green. We no longer need him. Start off the first round. And here on the second round is when I start really paying attention to the way I push these back. I straighten them. Move the stitch marker. Or you might rage quit underneath the V that you just made. Okay, start off with stitch 1. Especially when you do like 4 stitches in a magic ring, this second round can be a little frustrating because you see the leggies here. Well, there's a V underneath that connects to this leg, but that's not where your stitch is going to go because you're not going with the leg. The leg would be an increased stitch. We're doing 2 regular stitches first, so it actually will go here into this V. Once I push it through there, that's when I generally tighten so I don't yank the yarn and break it. So that there is stitch 2. Now we're going to do an increased stitch, but first we got to identify where the next stitch goes. So it's not going to go into its little leg, it's going to go there. Okay, now to finish the increased stitch, now we go into where the leg is. All right. Let's count backwards since these are facing all kinds of different directions. Here's 1 stitch. Here's another one. And here's another. So these are the last 3 we're going to insert. last stitch there is an increase. We'll go into it one more time. And we are supposed to end with 8 stitches. So let's verify. And push them out. So there's 1 with the stitch marker. And then 2. And then 3. It's curling in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the tail is last 8. Okay, so we finished that, and that tutorial, or that is in other tutorials as well. I just am reiterating the magic circle. So here I've done what we just did, row 1 and 2, and then the third round is just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So again, it'd be 8 stitches around, and then I did row 4 and 5 in purple. So now the pattern 6, 7, pink, 8, 9. Just realized what I said. 8, 9 is purple, and then 10, 11 is pink, and then we end in purple. So I went ahead and started this so it's easier to see. That's basically why I did that. So I'm going to break off that piece I just made. Now, since we've finished round 5 here, we're going to start 6. So here's the stitch marker. Here's the last stitch. We have 8 around. What you do is you go backwards. You pull that out. Be careful. It almost looks like a little frog every time I do that. And then you place the hook back into those 2 there, because you would finish it off by doing that, yeah? So what you're going to do is take pink now, since we're switching over. You're going to make sure there's going to be a tail. There has to be a tail. And you're going to take that piece and pull it through. Okay. We have not done our first stitch yet. All we've done is inserted the color. Okay. Now to do the first stitch with the stitch marker, you're going to go up into there. And when you change colors, you have all these strings happening, right? So you want to pull on those strings. You're going to put all of them in front, all 3 in front. And then you're going to take the new color that you are switching to, the long piece, not the tail, and that's the only one you're going to grab. You put them all in the front, and then you only grab the pink one to go through like that. And then you finish the stitch like that. That there is your first stitch of the round. Now when you change colors, you actually have to use it for the entire round, which is why this is a little confusing, because this is an extremely tiny piece, and it switches so many times. So I hope you're able to follow along. Okay, let's just go at it. So we're going to go ahead and insert the next, and this is much easier to see now. There's that first little V, the next stitch right here, the next V. Again, you want to take all 3 pieces and pull at them. You put them all in front, and then only that new color you're going to grasp and pull through and finish. do it again. Alright, they're all in front. Taking only the new piece, not the tail of the new piece, but the new piece. Now when you're going back into the hole, they're still in the back, they're back there. It's very tedious, but you gotta slow down for the color changes if you want to get them right the first time. And you don't want to rage quit. Alright, 2 more. I don't think you hear very many crocheters say that you gotta pull all 3 when you do this. I don't actually think I've heard any of them say that, but I found out when you do it, it creates really uniform pattern. Okay, I think that's the end. Let's make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so once you've finished an entire round with the new color, you snip the old color. So we're getting rid of purple, right? Okay, so now these pieces here are useless. We don't need them. So let's get rid of them. So tie them up. Cut them. And stuff them. Okay, so now we have one more round in just pink. Be good yarners. Make sure that stitch marker sees the next stitch again. Okay. Go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alrighty, we find ourselves again at a turning point in which, there's gonna be yarn everywhere for an itty bitty piece like this. Okay, color switch to purple. So remember what we do, we pull that back out. So we are now on, let's see, we're going back to pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7, okay, yeah, so we're going to 8 now. So, again, when we do the color change, leave a tail. Put it on the hook. And pull it through like no big deal. And there you go. You have not done your first stitch though. Insert, pull all the pieces and put them in front. And now we are switching to purple. So you want to take the purple, not the purple tail, but you want to take the new purple and pull it through. First stitch done. Move the stitch marker. Okay, put them back. Beginning second stitch. Take the you want to take the purples at the same time and pull them. That's what I'm doing. And then the pink. Bring them forward. Only crochet the new string. It's getting stuck. There. Next stitch. That was me touching the bed. I did not toot. I know what that sounded like. Almost there. This tail looks kind of cool, but it's going in the yarn graveyard box. Okay, last stitch. Pull them forward, and you have completed the color change. Now the next row, you're just gonna go about your day like normal, all the way across. And then again, you would switch the colors. Right now though, the new color, and I've done this before, make sure you're snapping only the tail and the old color, or cutting. So, not the new one. So get rid of those. Like I said, I tie them. I can't stand like 10 pieces of yarn just sticking out. Cut them. put them away, and begin again. Now, you've already seen the instructions, so you can finish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the top. This is how you would finish the tail. So here's our last stitch. Our next one goes into here. And when you sew the top layer, you have eight stitches around, right? So you can barely see this. So you want to make sure it's folded so that you can see. You'll probably see only 7 stitches, but you want to make sure that they match. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to go backwards into the last stitch that you made. This is hard with a, you know what? We can make it easier. So that's going to be the last stitch right there. You can see it. It's going to be the last one. So we're going to get him out of the way. One, two, 3, 4. No, I went under too many pieces. Just 2 pieces. Work with me here. Just one V, one V. You see what I'm trying to do. You get it. It's such a tough piece. Oh my goodness. Bear with me here. It'll be a 20-minute video because I can't get it through the hole. Yep, okay. Oh my God, my husband's cussing at the TV. Okay. I really hope y'all can't hear this. Oh, now it's easier to see. And this is how you sew the top closed. Two there, 2 there. 4 total. If you master this tail, you have learned a lot. You should be very proud. No! Oh my goodness. Okay, so when you're done, it says simply just to fasten off. So, which you just bring it through and bam, there you go. I really hope you were able to follow along in this video. Okay, well done.